Does anybody know how to use quotes? Has anyone actually ever,
Yeah,
yeah,
like, yeah.
in MLA
And
format?
indirect quotes too.
Indirect quotes? So you mean paraphrasing, or by indirect quoting, do you mean like not exactly what it says in the text, but
Yeah.
the same? Okay, good. All right. Actually, then, would you like to explain how to wait? When you quote, are you doing MLA format or APA or what format?
I don't know what format.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Because later, I think it's probably MLA if you're learning it in school. Because later in university, you're going to start learning a bunch of different formats for citation, including Chicago, APA. But for now, do you want to explain how MLA quoting works, or would you like me to do it, David?
You do it.
Okay, cool. No worries. Use quotes within the confines of a sentence. Now, why do you want to quote something? Someone tell me, besides David, because David already knows. Can anyone tell me why you would quote something?
So you'll know if someone's talking, or like if it's sarcastic.
Not quite. If what I mean here is if I ask you a question, right? If you're given a homework question and I ask you to use a quote, right? Why would you want to use a quote?
To prove something?
Yes, to prove something. To prove something happened in the book, right? So when you use quotes like say, hey, I went and used, it was Passepartout himself who had slipped upon the pyre in the midst of the smoke, right? Right here. What I don't want is just to say, as it states in the book, it was Passepartout himself, right? That is the wrong way of using a quote. Never use a quote that way. When you use a quote, the best way to use it is to put it in the context of whatever essay or paragraph you're writing. Okay. So so instead, let's say Passepartout was an energetic fellow who often acted with great flair and a happy audacity. Those two words are part of a greater quote, right? But I'm putting that in my sentence so it looks natural, and at the same time, I'm providing proof that he acts in the way that I say he does. Does that make sense? If that doesn't make sense, please raise your hand. Sorry, if that doesn't make sense, please raise your hand. You guys got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in-text citation, how do you cite a quote? But yeah, so like David said, an in-text citation is done by putting the last name of an author first. So let's say, in this case, Vern, and whatever page that came from, which was 88, I believe. Vern, 88. Okay, very simple. That's if you're doing a book. Now, you might be saying, ooh, what if I need to cite a movie, or if I need to cite like a textbook? There's a lot of different citations for different types of media. I have stopped doing it manually. I just have like a website do it for me. But in-text citations, no website can do for you. So you really have to look online for how to properly cite things within your own stuff.